Hi, Albert. Happy to know you are the one on the bill. Hi, Joshua. How are you? Hello, Joshua. Abu, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You know what?
Yourself?
I'm
Yeah.
fine too.
Can you guys come on the video, please?
All right. Our team MVP.
What's up?
I'm good yourself.
Yeah.
Awesome. Albert, hi.
I can see the rest. Yeah, on mute, Albert.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good,
Fine,
Albert.
thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I think I haven't met Albert before.
No, I spoke with Della when was
Yeah.
about a few months back, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for accepting the invitation.
Oh, absolutely. It's my pleasure.
Hey, Shula. You're on mute. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
Babu,
Yeah. How are you?
I'm fine with you.
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah.
Where's Joshua? Joshua? Is- Albert, where are you based?
Oh, I'm in the Chicago area in Illinois. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
How about you?
I'm in Paris.
Excellent. I was there in 2018 for a couple of weeks. I liked it there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So let me know anytime you are around next
I
time.
will. Absolutely. And I'll need to brush up on my French.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think there is 15 people. Maybe in 2 minutes time we can start.
Sure.
Abu, Isim Yusha is having issues with, I don't know, he's not getting access to the meeting.
Wow. Have you sent him the link? So that you use
Yeah, you should have the link. So I don't know what's the issue actually. I'm trying to find it out.
Wale.
Hey, hi Abu. Hi everyone.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. So I'm on another call, but happy to be here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining. I think we can start, Albert.
Sure. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah, very well.
All right, I'd like the opportunity to share my screen. All right. You can let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see.
All right, then we will begin. So greetings to everyone, wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm sure that covers just about everybody. Can you hear me okay? Is my voice projecting well?
Yeah, loud and clear, Albert.
Sure, yeah. So my name is Albert Ekwamwa. I am currently a senior software developer with a company called Couragens Incorporated. It is headquartered in Carmel, Indiana, in the United States. We have offices all throughout North America, Europe, and in Ghana as well. I myself am originally from Ghana in the Eastern region, and I currently reside in the Greater Chicago area, where I've called home for the past 28 years. I attended the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign, where I received a Bachelor of Science degree in computer engineering. And I've been spending the past 18 years as a software developer, primarily focusing on Microsoft Dynamics ERP implementation. I would like to thank Joshua and the team at Microsoft User Group Ghana for the wonderful opportunity to speak with you today. And I would like to thank all of you, in fact, for joining me as we discuss pursuing a career in Microsoft Dynamics. So I would like to spend a brief moment talking about Microsoft Dynamics and the career options within it. And I'll follow a simple format, which is I would talk high level about Microsoft Dynamics and the whole suite of technologies that makes up Microsoft Dynamics. But I'll particularly focus on Dynamics 365 Finance and Operation. And that's because that's primarily the application I've been involved in one form or the other for the past almost 2 decades. I will begin with a brief overview of D365, then we'll get into finance.
Hi, Albert.
Yes, hello.
Hi, Albert. Sorry to cut you, but I was having some technical issues, so I just resolved it. This is Joshua.
Welcome, Joshua. All right.
Yeah.
I will stop here and I'll have you do take over from here, and I can come in if that works for you.
Yeah, sure. So the floor is yours. Please continue.
Okay, sure. All right, we'll do that then. All right. So as I was saying, I will start with Dynamics. Talk a little bit about Dynamics. Talk more in depth about finance and operation, and then we will discuss the various career paths within D365 Finance and Operation. There are also a set of platforms and technology stacks that support and complements Dynamics very well, such as Azure Cloud Computing and Power Platforms, to name a couple. So I'll discuss a little bit about those and also talk briefly about career paths that specifically targets those other technologies which work in conjunction with Dynamics. Then we'll talk about some learning paths and some certifications that the person would be able to pursue in order to align their skill set with what is required to be a Dynamics implementer. And then we'll take some questions. Hopefully, I don't speak too fast, but at the same time can get through the presentation within 30 minutes, and then we can have a longer discussion, some question and answers, and some back and forth. You can ask personal questions, can ask specific questions to Dynamics. All right. All right. So, but before I begin, I have something to share with everybody, and that is the idea of what is possible, what is probable. And when Joshua spoke to me about this, I was very excited, and I really wanted to do this. And part of the reason is that most of the time, people think that certain things are impossible or that it can't happen until it is proven that it indeed can. And one of those things is picking a different career path from the trajectory you're currently on, right? It's something that most people would have the desire to, but they don't think it's possible, you know. And it reminded me of a time many years ago when I was in school, and I took a probability and statistics class, and that class was probably the most influential class in my life because it taught me how our mind perceives things versus the reality of things. Right. So, Joshua, if are there more than 23 people here on this call? I'm sure there are. I'm going to do a little experiment here, just to show people what is possible versus what we perceive as possible. So, everyone who wants to participate, I want you to just comment within the chat the month and day of your birthday, and at some point during this Q&A question, I like for anyone who found somebody else on here who have the same birthday to let Joshua know. And if we find 2 people who share the same birthday, I will have a special gift for those 2 individuals later on. That is because there's only statistically, if there are 23 people in a room, there's a 50% chance that 2 of them would have the same birthday. That number goes to 95% when there's 70 people, all the way to nearly 100% certainty when the number continues to grow from there. But our mind cannot perceive that, right? Because we are looking and say, well, the likelihood of somebody having the same birthday as me is very slim, and indeed it's slim. But in totality, the likelihood of 2 people right here on this call having the same birthday is more than 50%. So I just want to put that experiment out. Let's see if it works out. All right, so let's continue. All right, so what is Dynamics 365? So Microsoft Dynamics is it's not just one thing. All right, it is a different offering of different technology solutions that all work together to achieve a common purpose for a business. And Dynamics covers a range of functionalities and features that businesses need in order to run effectively. And I've listed here some of the areas, such as sales and marketing, And within that, you would have Microsoft Dynamics 365 sales and Microsoft Dynamics 365 marketing. So typically, both of them are offered together, but if you are into sales, you're into marketing, that's available to you. Then you have customer insight. Then you have a list of services, which include field services and remote assistance, also offered under Microsoft Dynamics 365 services. Then you have the finance one, which covers finance and project operations, as well as human resources. Then you have commerce and supply chain, which would cover another slew of technology stacks. So the idea behind Dynamics is that companies do not need all of these things at all times, right? So if you need just one, there's an offering for you. If you need a combination of any of them, you can put them together as an offer. And if for some reason your business needs all of them, then you have one cohesive technology stack that you can use as a company to effectively run your business. So that's how Microsoft Dynamics works. If for those of you who are familiar with other versions of Microsoft Dynamics, there used to be Great Plains and Solomon and Navision and Azapta and all of those different offerings under the MBS, and eventually Microsoft found a way to put them all together in a way where they work really well with one another, and that is Microsoft Dynamics 365. So specifically, let's talk about finance and operation. Well, finance operation is a robust ERP solution that is enterprise resource planning. And if you are a business or if you run any kind of a business as a company, you're either selling goods or you're selling services or a combination of both. And in order to ultimately deliver these goods and services to your customers in a fast and efficient competitive way, you need to manage people, you need to manage data, and you need to put processes in place. Right, and D365 Finance and Operation is designed as an application to connect the people and the data and the processes together in a way that helps businesses to be more agile and more competitive. This is a great opportunity for you and I, and that is why we are here today, is that the most important component in there is the people, right? The people portion represent career opportunities for you and I. Data by itself is meaningless, right? It would take someone to take that data, turn it into information, and another one to consume that data that has been turned into information and to make business decisions or provide some sort of directive and processes within a business. Right, and when we have such a large ERP system, such as Dynamics 365 for finance and operation, which touches on so many aspects of a business, it creates various career opportunities, either within the organization, that is the end user of the D365, or within an organization which provides consulting services or add-on products to Dynamics 365. So that's what we are going to be discussing today. We are going to be discussing some of the careers that you can venture into under Dynamics, given a broad range of all that the application offers. So I will start with functional consultant, or some industries would refer to a functional consultant as a business analyst. But a functional consultant does a bit more than just what is classically categorized as a business analyst. Functional consultant helps the business to get the most out of their ERP solution by helping them understand the capabilities of the application, helping them configure the application to meet the business need, help the business set up business processes within the application to drive workflow within the business, and to analyze and identify gaps between the business process and the capabilities of the ERP system. And this is fundamentally the most important thing, right? Is because Dynamics might be able to do many things as related to businesses, but each and every business is unique in its own way, that there would always be a gap. There would always be a gap between what a business does as part of its practices and what software is capable of. And that is where functional consultants would come in, and they would identify these gaps and provide requirements that would meet the gap in order for the business to still be able to function. So within functional consultant, we have individuals who would specialize in finance, for instance. And this is not an exhaustive list under here. So I have finance, sales and marketing, HR, and manufacturing. And this is just to name a few of the core functional areas that a person might pursue a career in. So under finance, you would be working with all things related to banking, to chart of accounts, basic finance stuff. It is, after all, first and foremost, a financial application, right? So everything dealing with the finance and accounting of the business goes through the application. And as a functional consultant who specializes in finance, you can help a business in that area. Then there's sales and marketing, human resources, and there's manufacturing. Manufacturing is a very key area to go in, just because, as I said, most businesses are either selling services or selling products, but the large majority are product based, right? They consume some form of raw material and convert that into a finished good and ship it out of the door to their customers. That entire process can be managed within Microsoft Dynamics for Finance and Operations. And functional consultants who specialize in manufacturing are in very high demand in this regards, because most of these users of Dynamics have a need for people who have extensive knowledge in manufacturing. Then you have a technical consultant. And under the technical consultant, you would have a software developer and a solution architect and a database administrator. And this is, again, not an exhaustive list, but areas that I would like to focus on for today's topic. So the software developer would be an individual such as myself, who would take requirements from a functional consultant and implement code, write software in order to alter or create a new feature within Microsoft Dynamics for Finance and Operation that can be deployed and used within the application by the end user. A solution architect, which is also a role that I play, is someone who comes up with a technical design for the for project for the solution, and ensures the smooth delivery of of code packages to the client in a way that is reliable, scalable and secure. So these are areas where the knowledge goes beyond just your ability to code or to write software, but to understand technology and how to effectively use it. Right? So solution architect roles are typically not entry-level roles. They are roles that you evolve into from other technical roles, typically. Then you have database administrator. As I mentioned, that data is key, and especially when you are dealing with Microsoft Dynamics. The entire application reads in data and uses data in order to function. Right, so the backbone of the application is the database, and there are a lot of responsibilities for a database administrator within that space to make sure that the data is highly available, that the data integrity is intact, that it is secure, right? And above all, that data can be turned into information in a way that it can be presented to decision makers to make decisions concerning the business. And you can also go into management, and that is people management or project management. For people management, you would have individuals who would manage other professionals that I've mentioned, such as the functional consultants or the technical consultants, to manage them, make sure that everyone has enough work to do and are doing it and delivering their tasks on time. And you would have project management, which is overall no different from any other project management or any other software project management, but still applies within the scope of Dynamics 365. That is to manage the entire project from beginning to end and make sure that is everything that is agreed upon at the beginning of the project is delivered by the end of the project on time and under budget. At least that's the hope always, right? All right, so how do we get to these careers? For a functional consultant, the ideal candidate is an individual who typically has like a MIS or an IT degree. So you have to have a little bit of a technical background. It's not required necessarily, but if you are trying to get in on an entry level, having a technical background would help, and partly because there's a lot of technology involved in Dynamics 365, and having a working understanding of how relational databases work and how software services communicate with one another, even though it might not be needed. It's a plus when you have that type of understanding of the certain technology. So having some IT degree would definitely be a plus, especially if you are pursuing this as an entry level or in a junior level capacity. If you have a finance or an accounting background, or you have a manufacturing background, as I mentioned earlier on, Dynamics would work well for you. So if you understand the processes of how finance and accounting works, it would be no different when you are working as a functional consultant. Finance is finance and accounting is accounting. And there are laws that govern certain aspects of how transactions are to be performed, but for the most part, it's the same. And then people who are currently doing some back office, non-customer facing roles within an organization. So if you already work in an office and you work with some kind of software solution for the company, so your daily activity involves you perhaps logging into a particular software application and performing a series of tasks within the organization to drive processes within the organization, you can transition easily as a functional consultant. And anyone that has customer-facing role, anyone in sales, anyone in marketing, if you're already working as a consultant with another set of technology, or even if you are a consultant doing accounting or any of these other professional services, you can transition into a functional consultant role with Dynamics. So the learning path involves a minimum of 2 certifications to really gain the right understanding, and that is the prerequisite for of MB300. So MB300 is an introduction to finance and operation. It covers high-level knowledge of the application, and it is in fact required no matter what path you want to pursue, because you need to know the technology in order to be able to even understand what to do with it, how to build a career around it. Right, so the MB300 certification path gives you that flexibility to learn more about the application and ultimately to sit and take the certification exam for it. Afterwards, there are a list of other certification options that you could pursue. My recommendations are the ones that are highlighted or emboldened there. That is the finance and the supply chain and manufacturing. So either the 310 or the 320. And for those two, typically people are either or, right? So nobody would want to be both within finance and supply chain management, because you play to your strengths. So if you feel like your strengths are within the finance and accounting, you would go for the MB310. And if you feel like you are more in tune with like the manufacturing process, supply chain, procurement, sourcing, those type of things, you would go more towards the MB320 certification. And I'll put a link at the bottom here for learning at learning.microsoft.com, where you can find a list of all the certifications related to Dynamics, and in fact all Microsoft certifications are under that. And also all the learning paths. So to pursue any of these certifications, there's no charge to it for the most part. If you want to do like a self-paced online learning, it's all available at learn.microsoft.com. So you just have to make sure that you're available to learn, and you can follow a directed learning path. And at the end, you will be equipped enough to sit and take the certification exams. Right. So now for a technical consultant, as individuals who have computer science or computer engineering degrees, or even self-taught knowledge in coding, software development. So if you are self-taught as a software developer, there are certain things that I'll still recommend just to gain some fundamentals about certain software development principles, and the reason is that most people go on the likes of YouTube and all these other platforms, and they teach themselves how to program, but there are certain concepts and certain methodologies and certain best practices that they miss out on. And in some cases, you would have to undo all of that to learn things the right way in order to be more effective, especially when it comes to being a technical consultant in Dynamics. So ideally, if you have a clean slate, is best. So then you are learning from day one. You are learning things the right way. So anyone that has a database administration, data science background, or if you just understand relational databases well enough, you can pursue a career also as a technical consultant. And individuals with some networking and system engineering backgrounds, some directly related to Dynamics, but also with some of the other technologies I would cover a little bit later on. How am I doing on time? Okay. All right. So some of the learning path for getting certified as a technical consultant, really the three that I have highlighted are the primary ones, with two of them being essentially the requirement. That is the MB300, which I discussed earlier on, which gives you a high level understanding of Microsoft Dynamics for finance and operation. And then the MB500 certification, which is at the core of the being a software developer within Dynamics. So you would take the MB300 and the MB500, and the two combined will give you the certification needed. The MB700 for solution architect is one that you can aspire to somewhere down your career. I would say between 3 and 5 years into your career as a technical consultant, if you want to venture into a solution architect role, and that's why I said that typically there is no entry-level solution architect role, and that's because of what the role requires, right? It requires a very deep understanding of certain technology and certain concepts, and certain people skills and interaction with customers, and putting together technical design documents and such. So it's more involved, and it's a role that you can grow into as time progresses. I also listed some SQL Server certifications at the bottom. I think typically the 464 and the 465 certification are what you need for a DBA with a Microsoft SQL Server role. However, because Dynamics also has reporting capabilities within it that uses SSRS reporting and other third-party solutions like LaserNet and other like what you see is what you get type of report designs, solutions. It requires a certain understanding of relational bases and how to query and put data together to present it in a report format. All right, so now what are some of the other areas you can pursue? If Dynamics is not really for you, there are other technologies available that support Dynamics in a way, and most Dynamics implementations rely on these technologies as well. And the first one is Microsoft Azure Cloud Computing. That is to be able to offer and administer and provision cloud resources that would help the implementation and the maintenance of Dynamics 365. Then there's the Power Platforms. You have Power Apps, Power BI, Power Automate. Those all integrate really well with Microsoft Dynamics. So if you already have that skill, it's great. And I realized that after talking to many people, especially within the professional space in Ghana, those who are into Microsoft technology, for the most part, all have Power Platform knowledge. So that's a great way to transition to a career within Dynamics, is to start with one of these products which integrate into Dynamics, and then eventually ease your way into it. And also having a knowledge of Visual Studio, the Microsoft .NET framework, and particularly C# and any kind of like RESTful API services and OData, how to consume web services. Those type of knowledge is a plus when you are pursuing a role. This is Dynamics integrates with other applications, typically through the exchange of data and exchange of information, and the development effort for Dynamics is done in Visual Studio using X++ and C#, which are both .NET languages. So if you have knowledge in C#, the transition is going to be smooth, especially if you've been doing some kind of coding using Visual Studio. All right, so for Power Platform, for Azure Cloud, I'm not very familiar with a lot of the certifications. I know when I was more in touch there, the certifications that existed were AZ 300, 301, 302, all the way to 304. But those I believe, have been replaced with AZ 305. So you would take the AZ 900 to get the basic fundamentals of Azure, and then you would take the AZ 305, which would give you the Solutions Architect certification for cloud computing. For Power Platform, you have PL 200 and PL 400 and PL 600, but primarily the PL 200 and the PL 400 certification would be all that you would need to get into that space. The key thing about certification, and I would like to just mention that, is that it's not about just passing the exam, right? The certification is a metric, right? Just to measure understanding, right? But it is based on an exam, which, as we all know, so those of us who, especially who are more recent graduates, and that it's possible that you've passed several exams without properly even understanding the concept, right? Because you can just memorize and just kind of keep it at the back of your memory, just pour it out during the exam, and then a few weeks you've forgotten it, and you will do well on the exam, right? So the idea of a certification exam is to try to understand the technology more so than to gain the certification itself. That's why these learning paths are very critical. They are self-paced, and you have the ability to go back, review, and really try to understand how the technology works. That's more important than gaining the actual certification, right? And for the most part, having that knowledge is also what is going to make you successful in your career, not just the certification itself. All right, so I would like to just talk about just something that is also equally important when it comes to pursuing a career that is often not talked about, but very, very important. And that is that really, in order to be successful, you can get a job all right. You can do well on an interview and get a job all right. And you can start a career. But in order for you to be successful in your career, there are certain things that you always must have at the back of your mind. And for me, the most successful thing that have worked for me is just being like more customer centric. Like, I have a great relationship with my customers, the people who I implement Dynamics for, right? And that has been a single key factor in my success in my career, is that I focus on the customer and the end user, right? In order to be successful in any role, you need to always have the customer in mind, especially in the roles that I've discussed, because they are consulting roles and they are customer facing roles, right? And and that in part also includes the end user. Oftentimes we look at the customer as the person who contracts us and gives us the work, but really, and we might not even meet a single end user, but those are the ones you have to keep in mind. And for that, I take a page from my friends who are civil engineers. I have probably the most of my friends in engineering school were all civil engineers, and they've developed in their career tremendously till now. And one of the things I like about them is that they can drive you around the city of Chicago and point to buildings and point to bridges and point to roads and say, I helped build that, right? And for them, every single vehicle that would cross that bridge, they had that vehicle in mind when they were designing, when they were implementing. And the same thing goes for those who build buildings, about safety and making sure that the building can stand the test of time, and they can continue to point at that and say, I built that, right? And we have to have that same attitude as software implementers, right? That we can't specifically point out our end users in most cases, and we can't point to people and say, look at the software that I built. But we have to have that same thing at the back of our mind, that somebody out there is going to use what we built, and they have to have a great experience. Right, so that's the first and foremost thing. Communication, both written and oral communication are key. And I've heard people talk about communication as a soft skill. I believe it is a very paramount, very essential skill that cannot be ignored if you want to be successful. Right, you need to be able to write down ideas and thoughts and designs and communicate that effectively. And you need to be able to speak well, right? If you're customer facing, I'm not talking about using multi syllables words and talking about large, complex things. Just talk so that somebody else can understand you. Convey an idea in the most succinct, with as few words as possible, right? That is a communication skill that is required. You have to have the desire and the availability to learn. The desire typically is there. Most of you that are here on this call today, I'll say all of you are there because you have the desire to learn. There are other people who also may have seen the publication that this event was going on today, and may have had the desire to learn about what was going to be discussed today, but they were not available today at this time, right? So availability is just as important as just a desire to learn. You have to make time to learn, right? You have to make time to learn. Unfortunately, there's only 24 hours in the day. That's the entire pie, right? So you have to slice up that pie, and you gotta make sure that one of the slices is allocated to learning. Right, and in some cases, you're going to have to unlearn certain things and relearn, right? Especially if you're advancing your career in one way and you're trying to make a career change right now. You need to be able to unlearn certain things in order to relearn new things that are going to be beneficial for your new career path. All right, you have to be able to work in teams and trust people, right? The most effective way to work in a team is to trust that your teammates know what they are doing, and they are reliable, and to also be reliable with the tasks that are assigned to you. And somewhere in between is the ability to say, I don't know, right? Oftentimes people shy away from not knowing, but that's, every great knowledge stemmed from not knowing, right? If your curiosity can only be sparked when you don't know and realize that you don't know, right? So working in a team gives you an avenue for growth in learning new things, because everybody brings something to the table and you can learn from other people, and also make yourself available so that others can learn from you as well. And the ability to network and to leverage your network. And I can't stress this enough. Look, all the people that you know right now, that you've met and encountered right now, if you never met any new person, I believe you know enough people to help you in whatever career and whatever endeavor you want to achieve in life. The problem is that we do not leverage our network. First, some people do not really network. We associate with people, right? To really network, it has to be a deliberate effort. And you have to let people know what your plans are, what your career trajectory is, what your goals are. There are people who know you and have known you for a very long time. They don't know how to help you because you have never communicated to them the areas in which you need help in. Some people don't even know what you do for a living right now, and they've known you all your life, right? We need to learn to communicate these things with the people that are within our network and ask for help, right? And sometimes we shy away from these things, right? But those who do not shy away and leverage their network, those are the ones that are successful. And that goes with individuals who make connections on LinkedIn and all these other social media platforms. Don't just make connections for the sake of connections, right? When you're connecting with somebody, send a little note. Tell them, hey, I'm connecting with you because I saw that you are a software developer in this space, and that's a space I'm interested in. After that, they accept your connection. Thank them for accepting your connection and request if you can have a 15-minute conversation with them to introduce yourself. This is what I do, and if I'm sure I can find one or two witnesses here on this call today who can attest to that. Leveraging your network was very important skill to success. So for the sake of time, I think we are done. I think I more or less got it under the time that I wanted to. So the floor is open for question and answer. So Joshua, if you can moderate from here, I believe that I'm done with the presentation. We can talk, we can have a lively discussion, and we can check on our birthday poll. All right.
Sure, we can.
So I think I will also play. I will put my birthday in here also. So we will see.
Okay.
So if you've already found somebody, that shares the same birthday as you, you can let you can let Joshua know. I'm serious. Next time I'm in Ghana, I'll make sure I bring you a nice gift. Both
I think I have
or
the
two
same.
or three
I
of
have
you,
the same
however many
birthday.
people.
I have the same birthday with Lady Roots, and then
Oh, okay. So we already found
three. We have three.
What's the date?
Who and who?
Myself and Abu, same birthday.
No. My birthday is 30th. My birthday is 30th July.
30th July.
Yes.
Okay, Abu, I see 30th July. Okay, who else is 30th July?
I can't find anyone here.
Yeah, I can't find anyone.
Does 29th of July count? Does 29th July count?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's different dates.
Who is 29th July?
I'm 29th.
So put it there. Maybe you meet his son.
Yes.
Albert. So Abu is the community lead for MUG. So he's our community lead. He's the first Microsoft Azure MVP.
Excellent. Abu, nice to meet you again. I know we exchanged pleasantries at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's great to meet you, and I will connect with you, and we'll find some time to get on the phone and talk.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, all right. So please, if there's any questions, can you go ahead? We have other guys who are into Power Platform and Dynamics. So, Chesco, is there any other question?
It's Chesco, no?
Yeah, Joshua.
It's Chesco. Yeah. You've been in the Dynamics space for a while now, and then I see you working on Power Platform. So is there any question that you may have to ask, or there's anything that you want to also add? Okay, so I can see Lady Ruth. Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
Ruth,
please go ahead.
Robert has his hand up as well.
All right, so let's go with.
Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. And mine is not a question. It's just to say I've really enjoyed Mr. Albert's presentation, and I think it's been really educative and insightful. And if I were not already in the D365 space, I think I'll be running into it by now. But I want to say thank you so much. Yes. And I really love to get in touch with you after here, and hopefully whenever you come to Ghana, it would be good to have a meetup as well.
Yes, absolutely. I would enjoy that very much.
Albert, she's the community public relationship. She's part of the organizers, and she
Excellent.
does she does dynamics. That's
Excellent.
our
Excellent.
dynamic rep. She does only dynamics.
Dynamic leading, yeah.
Excellent. Which one? CRM, supply chain?
No, ERP. So finance and operation and
Finance and
then
operation.
I do
Okay.
GP. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, then we really need to talk. We really need to talk.
Good.
All right.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
No problem.
So
Maybe
I
Robert,
also
I think Robert.
Robert, please can speak.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Please, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Is it 2-in-1 question? So I will start my other colleague who also asked hers. So I want to ask this question for myself and everyone here. Mr. Albert, I would like you to throw more light on the main role or the main duties, or what are some of the things as a D365 developer you'll be working on in your everyday life. That's my question.
Oh, sure. Okay, so I'll tell you about, my day. So lately I've been doing more of Dynamics AX 2012. That is the version of Dynamics prior to the finance and operation D365 one, and it's more or less the same. Any one of you familiar with the idea of DevOps, right? That is development and operations. So that's my day would entail with having like a daily stand-up meeting. And nowadays, obviously, it's not a stand-up meeting anymore. We are all, for the most part, sitting in the comfort of our home. But the idea behind a stand-up meeting was to make it a short meeting where everybody gives an update in the format of what did you work on yesterday, or since the last time we met, what did you work on? What do you plan on working on between now and the next time we meet? And if there's anything preventing you from getting work done, i.e. you're waiting on somebody else, right? And those were the updates. And we literally stood on our feet during the meeting so that the meeting does not take a very long time, because nobody really likes to stand, right? So that was the idea behind the meeting. So we start our day with a meeting similar to that, where we discuss the workload, and we triage the workload and then assign the workload. Then we get to coding. So sometimes you are developing a new feature, so you have to design the entire feature set with a design document, and then proceed to implementing it with code. Other times we are just fixing a bug or just doing a minor adjustment to a functionality. It's still a process that needs to be documented, but it can typically be documented within the code and checked in that way. For D365, as a developer, you would be coding in a language called X++. I mentioned that earlier. It's a .NET language, which the .NET language nobody has ever heard of, right? If you won't run into X++ anywhere else unless somebody in Dynamics introduces you to it, right? But it has the same flavor of like C# and Java. So if you have any object-oriented programming understanding, especially with those two languages, it's a smooth transition. So I write X++ code, do a unit test on the code to make sure that it works, especially in my development environment. And then I would check it in. And typically in the entire life cycle, another developer would review the code just to make sure that it adheres to best practices and such. And then when the entire feature set that is to be delivered to the customer is done, the code is then pushed to a test environment by a solution architect, and then eventually pushed to another test environment called user acceptance. That is where the end users will do their testing to see if it fits their needs. And then eventually that code will be promoted into the live environment where it will be part of the live code base. So I don't know if that answers your question, Robert, but it involves writing code, and the code typically involves interacting with data. So that's why I keep talking about the importance of having an understanding of how relational databases work. Within FNO, it's data intensive, heavy on the data side, right? And the code itself, the X++ code, has a query-like syntax similar to SQL that you will write within the code to manipulate data, right? So having that understanding of databases and relational databases is very key to the role. But all of that is covered when you are following the learning path for the MB500.
Okay, thank you very much, Albert. So I will leave the floor for her.
Hi, Mr. Albert. Good afternoon. Hi,
Yes,
everyone.
hello. Who am I
Hi,
speaking with?
Eugenia.
Hi, Eugenia. How are you?
I really don't know why Robert said I'm his colleague, but that's another story for another day.
Yes.
So I've
Okay. Hi, Eugenia. Where are you speaking from, please?
I'm with Robert from Ghana.
Robert.
Yeah,
Ghana. Okay. What company, please?
Vodafone Ghana.
Vodafone Ghana. Okay. All right. Great.
So I'm into sales, and then I have worked with the products team before.
Okay.
I have a background in IT as well.
Oh, excellent. That is excellent.
Yeah. So with the functional consultancy role that you were talking about, I was listening. So I wanted to find out how do I transition, or where do I start from before I even think of taking the B360.
The MB300 certification.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So getting access to D365 finance and operation, and just sort of interacting with it is certainly a good way to see if you want to work with the product. There are ways you can get access to it. Typically, it would involve getting it loaded on a virtual machine that you can interact with, or having it cloud hosted. The challenge with that type of access is that it is in a way restricted and it's limited to individuals who are already within the space, right? So I would say you find someone who's within the space that can perhaps spend like an hour or so with you, just showing you the different modules and the functionalities there. Especially if you have an IT background and you also have a background in sales, there are several modules within D365 that would be of interest to you, where you can start a career from, right? There are also other Dynamics offerings that are specific to sales and marketing, right? So I mentioned that. So I mentioned the sales and the marketing Dynamics offerings. They have their own certifications. So the certifications that I mentioned today are typically for finance and operation, and that's because that's what I'm most familiar with. But there are other certifications for other Dynamics offerings, which target specifically sales and marketing, right? So Robert has my information. I would be more than happy spend some time with you sometime here in the near future to just walk you through some of the options that you would have.
Okay. And then I also wanted to know, let's say with customer service, does Dynamics offer a standalone certification on customer service alone?
I'm not familiar with the certification specifically for that, but there is in fact a Dynamics 365 solution specifically for customer service.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So I am sure there's a certification there. I just have not ventured.
Okay. Okay, Albert, let me comment. So there is a standalone for sales, there is a standalone for marketing, and there's a standalone for customer service, which you can actually write.
Okay. All right. So if you have the MB numbers and you can throw them in the
MB
chat.
numbers,
Yeah. Just
okay,
throw
I'll
them.
drop it. I'll drop it.
All right.
Thank you. And also to add, please, I'm 1st July, so the 30th people. Yeah.
I think we already found one. We found a December 20. So if there's any other one, I think 2 people have December 20.
Why all the July people doesn't come together? Come at me.
Yeah. Any more questions? Okay.
So there is Ayovi. Can you please? The floor is yours. You can ask your question. I can see you raise your hand. Unmute and ask your question, please.
Yeah. Hello. Can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. I agree to everybody. Mr. Albert.
Yes.
Please, what is the time at your place there?
What's the time? It's 10:17 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Interesting. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, actually, I am Ayovi Jadu.
Hi,
I am assistant IT manager at Royal Aluminium in Ghana here.
Royal Aluminium. Okay, great.
Excellent.
Yeah. Actually, I know Mr. Abu for a long time. He was my mentor before he left. Actually, my question is, I'm into Azure for some times now. I passed a couple of certification. My interest is in IT operation and security.
Okay.
But when I listen to your presentation, when you talk about the technical consultancy, and you mentioned database administration, it is something that I was thinking of, but not that much interest. But when you said it, it touched me.
Okay.
So assuming I want to go to database administration, and how can I dive into Dynamics 365?
So the database administration part comes in because the back end of Microsoft Dynamics 365 is the Microsoft SQL Server database. Right. So that the data resides within the SQL Server database. So all operations that maintain and secure and make sure that data is replicated, that the data is highly available, database mirroring, database backup and restore, everything related to databases can be applied directly to Dynamics. Now, what you would find is that most, if not all, of the Dynamics developers, or all of them could get a job as a database administrator. I could get a job as a database administrator. It's because we don't have enough people specifically focusing in database administration, and it forces the developers to learn and do that work, right? So, but it's very necessary for there to be individuals whose primary role and function is to maintain the data integrity in the database, right? So it's part of the technical consulting stack, right? If you have DBA knowledge, you can handle that. But I would say that if you already have a cloud background, that's even better. I have several. If you go to learning to learning at Microsoft.com. There is actually a path, and I'll check my notes here and see. So give me a second. Let me check my notes here because I looked at the path specifically for data science, even though I did not mention it in the discussion. I looked for a path for data science and database administration, and I'll see if I can find it and put it in the chat for you.
All right.
All right. So hopefully I found a few links here in my notes. I can check to see if this is the correct one, and I'll share that with you. So you can have access to all the list. I would like for you to stay within Azure. Like so if you already have an Azure background,
Yes.
you want to do anything related to data science and databases as an add-on. So it's not necessarily venturing off, right? All the databases nowadays in all its various form run on the cloud comfortably, right? And all the maintenance of it is that. So you will just be building upon your skills at this point, right? But I'll find the link and I'll send it to you. I had it somewhere in my notes, but I can't seem to find it.
Okay. Thank
right.
you very much.
Yeah.
And I love your presentation.
Thank you.
And interestingly, I love the latter part where you are talking about leveraging our network.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's something that I don't know how to do it exactly, but I would like to get in touch with you and get more knowledge from that point.
Absolutely. You know,
Because
you will
times,
find
some people,
very useful. It's very useful, like especially the very early part of your career and the later part of your career.
Yeah.
Right. Like I would say that if you work for 10 to 20 years and you ever need a job or you never need to transition to another role, that you should be able to only send your CV or resume to somebody you already know, and that should be enough.
Yeah, interesting. Somebody said that, and that is why I'm much interested in developing that skill.
Yeah.
Somebody said if you don't have job and you have to stay home more than a month, it means your network is very poor.
Exactly. Precisely. Right. And occasionally, I would encourage you to test your network.
Yeah.
Don't wait till you need a job to test your network.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Mr. Abu, are you hearing? I will test you.
I'm hearing you very well. And work on your LinkedIn also, because I noticed that LinkedIn, a lot of people are there and they are willing to help. They are looking for people. So build well your CV and your LinkedIn profile. And
yes.
if you
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that you always appear in their search because they are always searching for people.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think I will hold you for that. Thank you very much.
Okay, welcome.
Mr. Albert, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? You can also check the chat box. I've posted a lot of links for your reference. That is Microsoft Learn, that is the fundamentals for Dynamics 365. And also, if you want to join Microsoft User Group Ghana, you can follow us on LinkedIn. That is Microsoft User Group Ghana. That is where we post a lot of our events. Mostly it's virtual events, but we are planning to be doing hybrid, a bit of hybrid. That is next year. So we are currently working on that. So for you to be able to have this kind of insightful events, we would like you to follow us on LinkedIn, and also I have put in the chat box our meetup page. you register and then you join us. And whenever there is an event, we will be able to send to you and you register. Right.
Yeah,
So is there any other questions?
For IOV, I put the data engineer learning path link on in the chat for you as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's a lot in there, so you would need to you need help deciphering it is to figure out which one is best for you.
So Alex, we have a team here in Ghana. So we are Microsoft Group Ghana. So it's a community for Microsoft addicts. And we always engage with the community, and then we always bring experts who will be able to deliver sessions to our community and engage them as well. So whenever they reach out to you with assistance that you think you can help them with, you can do so.
Yeah. Well,
so I have a yeah. So we have a team here. Abu is the community, and we also have Roots. Roots, are you there?
Yes, I heard your voice earlier.
Yeah, Roots. Yeah. So we have Roots, and we also have Chesco. So Chesco also works in the dynamic space. So
excellent.
If you see yes. So if you see
and Chesco, you won the prize too, right? You and Pearl. Right? Are you also December 20th?
Oh.
Who was the other? Yeah, he's also December 20th, right?
Yep. Interesting.
Yeah, so Pearl, I see Pearl and Chesco are the only two people I could identify as having the same birthday. So both of you won a prize. So it will come on or around your birthday, which will be perfect.
But Albert, you should come through me before it will get to them.
Yeah, I think it's only fair.
Yes, fair. Yeah, it will be fair.
Yeah.
So if you see the designs, the graphic designs, it's been done by Chesco.
Oh, excellent.
Yes. And we also have other members as well. We have Shulamite, are you here? Hi, Shulamite. Okay.
I'm here.
Okay, so we have an awesome team out here in Ghana who always help to keep the community moving. We also have Della. Hi, Della, are you here?
Yeah, I've spoken to Della 2 months ago.
Okay.
I remember.
Okay. All
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's good to meet you again.
I can see Nazir also just joined. Okay.
Oh yeah, Nasir is my right-hand man. That one.
Yeah, Nazir, are you there? Oh, okay.
So
your hand is raised up. The floor is yours. I can also see John. Okay,
yes,
right.
John has
let's go with Pearl. Pearl, please. The floor is yours. Kindly speak.
Okay. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. This is John.
Okay. Yes, please.
This is John. Yeah.
Since I joined the meeting not so long, I had a message in my email to join the meeting. Then I just entered. So I'm much interested in the IT field, but I haven't gotten any opportunity. And what you were discussing, I didn't hear it. So I think unless I get a little summary about what you talked about, and if I could get some connection, because I don't have any work now, and I want to also learn more about the IT field. So since I've gotten a lot of big men here, maybe I can get some connections in.
That's leveraging your network, right? So well, I think it will not do the rest of the people justice to repeat what I just said. But I would like to find out what do you currently do? What do you have a background in now?
I'll wait. I'm sorry to
okay.
But then John, we will be able to send you the PowerPoint presentation. So at your leisure time, you go through it. And you also need
Okay,
to
sir.
also join the community and by registering to our portal. So all the information will be sent to you. I believe you also received an email which came from a meetup and then our Microsoft tenant. So you'll be able to reach out to any of the
Okay.
organizers and then we'll be able to assist you with anything that it deems fit for you.
Perfect.
Okay, sir.
Joshua, the
Yeah,
recording
in
too is on.
addition,
Yes,
yeah,
and then
exactly.
we also
The
have a recording.
recording will be
So
on.
it's recorded, so and then it's gonna be posted on YouTube.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Thank you
John,
very much.
what do you have a background in right now? What do you do?
Okay. I don't do anything. I just completed the college because I had some issues. I couldn't continue the stuff. So
Sure.
it was recently I was trying the website development a little
Okay.
bit.
Web development.
But
Okay. So what background? What did you get? What degree did you get at the university?
I haven't gone to a university.
You have not. Okay. So all right. So first of all, the good news about software development is that for the most part, college degree only helps to a certain extent, right? But without that, you can still have a nice, successful career. But I'll resort to what I mentioned in one of my earlier slides, and that is the desire to learn and the availability to learn. Right. There are a lot of learning resources out there, learning material that you can do a self-paced learning with, right? But you have to be consistent and you have to make time for it. Okay. I also have a metric of 6 months. So if I decide today that I don't know anything about a particular subject matter, and I want to learn it, I give myself 6 months. And in 6 months' time, I would be able to have an intelligent discussion about that topic, right? So you're not going to get all the knowledge in the next week or two about what you pursue. But I guarantee you, if you give it 6 solid months, no more than 15 hours a week of dedication for 6 months, that would be enough. I've put this to a test for the past 18, 20 years, and it works every time.
Okay,
all right.
sir.
Okay. So so if you have any more questions on need help and how to follow, reach out to Joshua. He can reach out to me. We can try to get you whatever resources you need.
Okay. So how do I get your email and or your contacts?
Yeah, the group has all that information. So Joshua is your lead man. I would like for you to go
So
through
you
him.
send me the stuff.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. And Pearl, you had a question. As a fresh graduate from the university with a degree in information technology, how do I get? All right. So and I know Pearl too. I've had the pleasure of meeting Pearl before this call on numerous occasions. So Pearl, you are very well positioned, right? I think you know that. So having an IT background is very, very critical to your success in Dynamics, right? So what you want to do is figure out among the list of opportunities I presented today, which one piqued your interest the most, and then we can start from there, right? So if any of it did not pique your interest, I did not present an exhaustive list. So then we can talk. You can let me know what you currently do, and I can see if there's a role that is out there that more aligns with what you currently do or what you have the desire to do. All right.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Any other questions? So we are just some few minutes away to close the meeting. Wanzam, okay. I can see you raise your hand. Can you speak? You can unmute and speak, please.
presentation. I came in late, but I don't want to bore you guys. My question is how to get the Microsoft Dynamics running. How do you get it? Is it free?
Hi, one time we are finding it difficult to hear you.
Yeah, it would help me greatly if you could type your question in the meeting chat, or you can repeat it.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I was asking with the Microsoft Dynamics. Is it a free account where you can go in and then just explore, or is a paid version of I heard there's a what's the name? Is it offline version or something where you can run it in your local server also?
So the short answer is that there is a way to have access to Microsoft Dynamics for finance and operation on an individual machine. So I should have probably started mine up on my machine before this. It takes a little while. I have a virtual machine running here on my local machine, this current machine that I'm logged into, where I have access to Dynamics, right? I also have a dedicated virtual machine that my company provides for me. And on there, I have an instance of Microsoft Dynamics, right? So there's a way to, if you want to see it, that it's possible. But to get it for yourself to interact with, I'm not sure if there's a way you can do that right now. But there are individuals here, some who I know who are based in Ghana, who can do a screen share with you and show you some of the features, even the technical aspect of the coding environment and those. You know, I don't want to volunteer them, but if any one of you are willing to help Wanzam out, you can volunteer your services to Joshua, and Joshua can get you in touch.
Okay, thank you very much.
So Wanzam, there's an instance that you could deploy a trial version of FNO, that is the financial operation, or even the CRM,
Okay.
so you can exploit. You can exploit. So I have posted the website there. Go and exploit. You can write to me after the meeting, and then I'll be able to give you the specifics depending on your interest.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm with the Ghana of Service with the Health Information Unit. Most of the time I deal with data analysis. I also I'm now trying to dive into geospatial data.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So if any other questions, so the meeting should be ending in about 10 minutes time. So we can actually want to ask a question for material. Oh, okay. Go ahead. I just saw it in the chat box.
All right. Oh, so Emmanuel, are you referring to the PowerPoint slide?
The PowerPoint, yeah.
Sure. I'll send that over to Joshua. And I honestly do not even prefer PowerPoint. I like to write like a document that I can convert into a PDF. The PowerPoint was more applicable in a presentation setting, but I can take the content of the PowerPoint and perhaps write a synopsis along with the links and other things I discussed into a Word document, and then convert that into a PDF and send it to Joshua. And then Joshua, you can add that to your collection, and anybody that asks for it, you can feel free to send it to them. Yeah, so you would have to give me a couple of days for that.
Sure.
Perhaps I'll work on that tonight and get that over to you tomorrow.
That's
Yeah. So I also would like to add, for those who are specifically software developers here, and whether you are web backend and you want to learn how to be a Microsoft Dynamics developer strictly, give your name to Joshua, and once we have a good enough number, I would like to help formalize your learning and put you on a fast track to gain the skills needed to transition to be a Dynamics developer.
all right. So all the materials will be sent to everyone via mail. So within a week, we expect them to receive the material as far as Albert is done working on this one. Hope that is okay.
That's perfect, actually.
Okay. All right. So I think okay. All right. So yeah, I would reach out to everyone after the event. Mr. Albert, we are really grateful for spending your weekend with us, and the community really actually appreciate it. Appreciates your time and commitment, and it's a great session. Because I have been in that space for a while, I love listening to people. I mean, experts who talk about dynamics. So, and I can see that the community is very grateful, and they've been able to learn a lot today. Hopefully, we're gonna bring you back when there are other events next year.
Sure. I'll try to. I'm trying to make it down to Ghana in December for Christmas. So I'll let
I'll be
you.
expecting it.
Yeah, it'll be good to have a meetup or something with the group down there.
Awesome.
All right. Yeah, and it's my pleasure. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to everyone here. I'm sure you also had other things you could have been doing, and thank you all for taking the time to hear me speak on this subject, which I'm just so very fond of. Obviously, I love what I do, else I wouldn't have been doing it for the past 18 years, right? So, and I would love for more people to get into Dynamics, to grow the community, especially in Ghana. And anybody that have heard me talk about Dynamics and about Ghana know that I've been passionate about the list of professionals in Ghana with knowledge with Dynamics growing. Right, we need to make it to the world stage as a place where people go for Dynamics talent. All right, and it starts with events like this. So let's not stop doing this. Let's continue to help each other and encourage each other and learn from each other. All right.
Thank you for spending your time. Abu, any other thing you would like to tell the community?
I'd like to thank everyone, the speaker and the organizers and the attendees. I will see you soon in Ghana.
Excellent. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.